What up, YouTube? Oh my god. So, my name is Carrington. I am a singer songwriter out of Swanee, Georgia, which is like 30 minutes north of Atlanta if you're not familiar. And I'm here today with my first channel reaction. I am somebody who is obsessed with music and the entertainment industry and pop culture. And so I thought, why not start uploading that kind of content to YouTube because I'm listening to it all the time anyway. So before we get into this, I actually recorded an hour-long reaction like 27 minutes ago. Um Reacting to John Mayer's Sob Rock that just came out today. And I lost all the footage. Don't know how. It just said there was an error message when I finished recording, and I couldn't send it to myself from my phone, which is where I'm recording at. I couldn't upload it to Google Drive. It just kept saying error, error, error. And so I am back with my Carrington mug with some adult juice in it because if I didn't have it, I might blow something up. So, uh, figuratively speaking, of course. So, I am here. In the previous review, I sat down, I listened to all the songs start to finish, and kind of told you what I thought individually about each song. And I think it's very difficult to really do that with a first listen through on an album. But I really don't have the mental strength right now to listen to it all the way over again and kind of give you my second reaction to it. But I do want to talk about it because I think it is an album worth talking about. Shout out really quick to my friend Marquise Hardy. He is another musician, close friend of mine, who actually recommended me check out the interview that John Mayer did with Zane Lowe prior to listening to the album. And I'm so glad that I did because it allowed me to have more of an insight around the world that John Mayer was creating with Sob Rock. It is very vintage. It is very like 80s. It's nostalgic, even though I'm a 90s baby. Um, it feels like somewhere I've been before, even though I really haven't. And he said that in the Zane Lowe interview, that is what he was trying to accomplish with this project. He wanted to be a means of transportation to take people to memories or dreams, and I think that he knocked it out of the park with that aspect. Overall, I remember giving the project a B minus because, excuse me, don't get me wrong, I am a huge John Mayer fan. I love what he does. I started playing guitar because of him, and so it's not a bad project, and perhaps I need to listen to it. Not perhaps, I know I need to listen to it a couple more times. I like to sit with projects, but off of my first listen, I gave it a B minus because I felt, or I didn't feel as moved as I wanted to feel throughout the project. And I think that, learning the lyrics and sitting with the music more will help with that. I got my handy dandy iPad here because I did favorite some of the songs in no particular order. If this will open. Um, All I Want Is to Be With You is the closing song of the album, and it probably hit me the second hardest. I just think it was beautifully written. Sonically, it is moving. I think the entire project is very sweet, but it's not like sad or like sappy. I just think it's emotional, and I love that. But like, I am not in that emotional space, and so perhaps that is why there is a little bit of disconnect with me right now listening to it. Again, it's not a bad project. Anywho, Carry Me Away was one of the singles, and I thoroughly enjoyed that as well. I try not to listen to the singles too many times because I don't like when an artist gives me half of an album before I actually hear the album, because then I feel like I've already heard half of it. But I don't think that that was the case with these 10 songs. I think the project was tight, and hearing them in conjunction with the album made them make more sense. So, All I Want Is to Be With You, Carry Me Away, Till the Right One Comes, also one of my favorite tracks, Shot in the Dark, Wild Blue is my absolute favorite track off of this album from my first listen. Like, sonically, it was the one that touched me the most. And I'm interested to go back, listen to it again, start to finish, and see if that's still the case or if one of them changes. If anything, it'll be All I Want Is to Be With You. That will, um, that'll knock Wild Blue off of the top spot if it's any song. And then the last one is Why You Know Love Me. Beyond the title itself, in John Mayer's interview with Zane Lowe, he talks about why he chose to name the song that. And it really touched me because when you think about um, Why You Know Love Me, like that phrase, you could, as an adult, you would say, Why don't you love me? And John talked about coming from a very pure, like innocent perspective, like a child, and in the most like raw way, going to somebody and trying to communicate, like, why don't you have this feeling that I need from you for me? And so that is the explanation alone had me intrigued about the song. I loved the verses, the writing in the verses, and I even loved the writing in the chorus. But the melodic decision was a bit jarring for me, going from the verse to the chorus. I wasn't expecting that. Like, where I heard the song going from the verse into the chorus is not where it went. And so that idea I had in my head to what he did, it was the only thing that I was like, I don't know if I like this. And again, I know I'm going to have to go back and listen a couple of times. But overall, everything that I've said, the songs that I loved, I still give it a B minus. And I think that John should be very proud. He talked about like quarantine being a weird space for us artists, and the importance of really not being limited to, he used a metaphor about paint on a canvas as musical artists, and how you're expected to, you paint with blues and whites, so you should make blue and white paintings. And as an artist, you never want to limit yourself to the colors that you can put on a canvas. So from that perspective, I really love that he took this in a new direction. A lot of the album, he said sonically this was something very new for him, and it was kind of like a reinvention. But I felt like their obvious rock, it's called Sob Rock, influences all throughout the project. Also, shout out to all of the musicians that played with him on the project. You guys killed it. I got a lot of Paradise Valley from this. If you're a John Mayer fan, if you've listened to that project, like, I felt um, a very connective tissue between a few of the songs, like a handful of the songs on Sob Rock, and the energy on that project. And if I'm reaching, please let me know in the comments below, or if you felt that too, let me know. I'd love to talk about this more. Also, in the opening number, and I remember saying this in the first reaction I did to the project, in the opening song, it's called Last Train Home. I don't even have to look it up. Look at me. Um, Last Train Home, he says something, or not one specific thing, but overall, like the entire um, lyrical content and how we're moving, like through this opening number, excuse me, reminds me of oh my gosh, why can't I remember it now? Oh, Stop This Train by him. In his Continuum, I think it was. In words, in Continuum, he talks about how he wants to slow down time, how it's weird to see his parents getting older, he's getting older, things are changing, and he just wants somebody to like slow it down or stop this train. And now there's so much growth in between that song and this song, that album and this album, that it seems like he's come to terms, he's gotten peace or an understanding about this entire journey, and now he's enjoying the ride. And that is another song that really stuck out to me on this album. And I think it was an excellent opening choice. So that is the gist of the project. I can't believe I summarized that in like 10 minutes. Have you given this album a listen? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Please let me know in the comments. I also would like to discuss, like, what are y'all's John Mayer album orders? Like, if you had to summarize, like, this is my very tippity top album to my least favorite album, I'm gonna do that really quick because I didn't plan on doing that for this video. Excuse me, let me sip my tea. But I think it would be interesting. This album included, I think it was a good project, but I don't know if it's like the tippity top for me as far as John Mayer projects. Let's see. Go to Artist. This is his 8th album. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So just off the dome, like tippity top to bottom. Most favorite to least favorite. And this might change in a week. Like, I might listen to Sob Rock 10, 20 more times and then be like, oh my God, this is, whatever. But right now, oh, this is harder than I thought. This is a bit more difficult than I thought. I'm going to say Continuum is number 1 because it was the first John Mayer project that I had listened to. Like, I was aware of him, but I didn't really sit with John Mayer as an artist until Continuum. And then I'm going to say Battle Studies is my number 2. And some people are probably going to be upset with me, but like, Battle Studies really would have been my number 1. It probably is my number 1. Continuum is so good, though. It is so good, and it has some of my favorite John Mayer songs on it ever. But Battle Studies, I wept to this album. Like, Perfectly Lonely, Assassins, Edge of Desire is one of the best songs ever written, period. Please argue with your mothers. Don't come into my comments arguing because I won't do it with you. Edge of Desire is one of the best songs I have ever heard in my entire life. And I'll stick with Continuum number 1, Battle Studies number 2. Then probably Heavier Things, number 3. Born and Raised, number 4. Search for Everything, number 5. Sob Rock, number 6. Paradise Valley, number 7. And Room for Squares, number 8. And I only put Room for Squares that low because I didn't really sit with that project. That wasn't like the John Mayer that I kind of grew up with. It was like Continuum on, and then I went back as I was older and listened to those projects. But I didn't really love Paradise Valley. But I appreciate him for going there. I appreciate every album for John Mayer. Like, I want to explore this part of myself, and so I'm going to do it. And so I would never knock it. But that off the dome was my order of my most favorite John Mayer albums to my least favorite John Mayer albums. I would love to hear from the John Mayer stands, and let me know if I'm wrong, why I'm wrong in the comments below. Yeah, and thank you so much for watching. Some quick, not house rules, like house updates. I'm gonna be uploading to YouTube Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. So come back home and check me out. I'll be talking about everything from like music, albums that I've been listening to, songs that I've been obsessed with, life stuff. entertainment, pop culture, just one things for you to get to know me better, and two, things that I'm passionate about, things that I want to talk about. So come hang out with me. I also started a gaming channel called We Choose Violence, where I will be uploading gaming shenanigans from like Apex, like shooters, to like scary games that I enjoy playing. And I'm going to be partnering with some friends and stuff to make it like a community channel. So if you want to go subscribe to that, that is here. If you want to just see more of this face, Twitter and Instagram are here. And yeah, I'll be uploading these videos early to Patreon. So if you're not a member and you want to be a member, you can subscribe here or here. The link will be somewhere. And I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And hopefully this video doesn't destroy itself and I can upload it very smooth. Until next week, I will see you guys later. All right, bye.